Hey there guys, just going to be doing a quick overview for this month's subscriber flare. It's a really cool month, so I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinions. So for the $10 standard Centurion Pass, you're going to be getting the awesome red suit that you see at my top right. It is an awesome suit. I absolutely love it. I think this is a really cool direction that CIG is going with this stuff. And at the bottom right, you will see the Imperator $20 suit that you can get as well. If you guys are interested in picking either one of these up, you do have to subscribe before the 12th, or else you're going to have to subscribe at a later date, and then you'll be able to pick them up in the store standalone. Thank you guys so much, and have a great one.
Hello, I am Concerned Penguins with the Night Crew. How are you guys doing tonight? I'm hanging out in the beautiful Las Vegas tonight and trying to put together a stream for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's get in on it. So we're starting with our good old friend, the jump point tonight. And we learned some new interesting things out of this. We learned more about the AI, we learned more about the Drake, Vulture, and we also learned more about some of the lore. So there was an interview here which kind of brought up some good points of, like, there's two different states. Either they're going to try to kill you or not, essentially, or as they call it, non-combative and combative. There's also multiple subsystems that the AI is using to make decisions and actually implement those decisions. There's a perception system where they perceive A is something in front of them, B is the person that they're looking at, good or bad. Those kind of deals. There's a communication system, like that's whenever you see the guy going, maybe we can make a deal, or, do you think you got me? Some of those different classic lines that we're seeing pirates use, for instance, at the moment. They've also got a targeting system of where should they actually shoot you at. They've got a tactical system of, do I just run straight at you? Do I take a left and right turn and find some cover? Do I shoot in front of you, behind you? Should I shoot your ship or you? So there's a system for that. There's also a system for movement, front, back, left, right. Do they roll? Do they run? Do they walk? Etc. There's also an interaction one, like opening doors, grabbing guns off of a rack. Those kind of deals will be part of that interaction system. One of the hilarious things that they were talking about, though, is trigger discipline. You'll see it over here. They were actually talking about, and actually you can see the guy doing it quite well too, which is hilarious. Good job, guys. The range instructors would be proud of you, I'm sure. So the whole idea with this is they wanted to make it look as realistic as possible, so they're even doing trigger discipline. And in general, they were talking about how, like, they're usually way ahead of the teams implementing this, so they'll do, like, the finest details, like perfect throws of the grenades, for instance, other than this last patch, which didn't get implemented correctly. After that, we jumped into the Drake Vulture. The Drake Vulture is going to be a 33 by 16 by 9 meter ship, which is actually fairly small. It's actually not very fast, 165 meters per second. I'm expecting that as not with afterburners, that's just cruising speed. A couple things to note. It has heavy armor, but really small shields. Thankfully, it has redundant shields, so when it actually becomes an important thing, if one gets blown up, you'll still have some. But in general, you should have protection while you're out in this thing. Other things that's kind of cool that came out about it is it will have the VTOL particular thrusters, so it's good. And that those particular thrusters that it will have, it will be small once again. So the idea, I think, for them is they're planning for you to mostly be doing this in space, so you shouldn't need a lot of horsepower for Atmo. Moving on, another big thing of consideration is it only has 12 SCU, so you won't be out and about for very long, probably before you're going to be filled up and either need somebody to drop it off with or to come back to home base. They also kind of highlight that there's a ton of different skins that they're going to be implementing, and Yeah. Another big cool one that came out was I think it's Vasley, named after Dr. Vasley, who was part of the UEA, which is the United University of Australia or something to that effect. Doesn't really matter too much, but she was there with the team on Terra 3 and found a really cool rock with actual language written on it, which helped them understand the species that was there before they were actually more advanced than they thought. And this is a good thing to note because I still don't understand why why they aren't there anymore. How did they die? The current speculation is it was because of a civil war, FYI. But in either case, despite this wonderful, wonderful discovery, it was kind of overshadowed by the fact that they took it back to Earth instead of leaving it there at Terra, with the actual people that kind of own that, the Terran government, as well as the facilities there that helped her identify it. So it got taken back to Australia, hung out there for a good 75 years, I believe. Yeah, 75 years, and then finally made it back. And that's really all there was out of this month's jump point. It was very useful, but nothing super shocking, to be honest with you. I am Concerned Penguins with the Night Crew. Cheers!
Good evening and welcome. I'm Kai Over with the Night Crew. This week I'm going to be talking about events, both in the recent past and in the near future. Let's start with the week in review. Earlier this week, the Spanish Star Citizen community, including fellow Night Crew member Kraken Jr., treated us to a couple of impressive displays of teamwork and coordination in two separate events, a 50-player quantum travel and a 50-player ground battle. The quantum event began with an organized salute on the big deck at Port Olisar. Several camera angles were captured, including the entering and exiting of Quantum. I definitely recommend checking out the video. Likewise, and in my opinion even more spectacularly, the ground battle definitely evoked a sense of what this game could become, and the filming captured all the action. It certainly had me thinking about how I'm going to defend my outpost in the future. Alright, now let's turn our focus to some upcoming events. First, the Star Racing Con 42 Championship is rapidly approaching, with deadlines for signups on September 6th. Pilots who qualify for the Grand Finals can join the Con 2 fan event in Frankfurt on September 22nd. However, participants do not need to go to Frankfurt or play the finals on stage. You can enter and play the whole cup from home. And finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Daymar Rally. Slated for January 27th, 2949, this is already looking to be one of the premier in-game events for 2019. Teams of 4, split evenly between 2 racers and 2 support crew, will compete in one of 3 categories over a grueling 5-hour, 300-kilometer dash across Daymar, where they will navigate peaks, valleys, plains, and rock fields as they race from Shubin to Wolf Point. As if that weren't enough, racers will engage other racers and support aircraft after the first waypoint. There is no cost to participate, however, advanced registration is required. Check out the link for full rules. And that's it for this segment. I'm Kai Over. Fly safe, and I hope to see you in the verse soon.
Hey guys, it's Chris Roberts. You should join Stargate Command because they're really badass. There you go.
This week's Reverse the Burst is titled Live. It's Chris Roberts, you all. After a loaded letter from the Sherman, we get a couple of UC bits including an adjustment made to the Q3 updates, where it will from now on be synchronized with CitizenCon. That means October 10 this year for 3.3. To be able to get some synergy on focus and effort. Chris Roberts is pushing towards a more realistic ship thruster mechanic, walking away from overpowered maneuvering thrusters and even mentioning the TV series The Expanse as a better example of what to expect about the direction of our handling of ships in space. IFCS is being worked on so that coupled and decoupled modes will make more sense in terms of realism. For example, ship behavior, how it affects your body, fuel consumption, among others, but trying to still be fun. Item and chip purchases are being worked on to enable as much persistence and to push economy to the next level in-game. Great controversy was generated by CIG's decision to remove the global UEC cap after the Voyager Direct shop was discontinued and items logged there were unable to be mailed for in-game credits. Chris Roberts compares the UEC advantage to players having a large fleet, which already gives them an advantage. He takes the opportunity to describe the game as one which will let you start at any point in time and build your own way upwards. Everyone should be able to play this game the way they prefer, and he advises everyone to stop looking at it as a game with a start and a finish, but embrace the sandbox feel about it. Not everything will be a competition. There will be gameplay mechanics for many different styles of gamer. You get to decide your goals according to your preferred activities, time, and skills. Chris Roberts states that what he thinks is the most immediate goal is Object Container Streaming, also known as OCS, because of the impact it has on almost everything else in the game engine. One example of that is the per server player cap, which could go up to 200 players. After that, the engine can then move forward to stuff like server meshing and even higher caps. Roadmaps will keep being published with a year in advance. We should expect a big movement towards a physical base inventory, and lockers will play a big role in that. What this means is we will end up needing to use the right outfit and equipment based on what you're doing, as opposed to what we have today where almost everyone goes around in full armor. Decompression mechanics are coming, but still on hold, while the physics team is busy with some other priorities. This week's Calling All Devs is titled Aspects of Flight and Landing. Handling of those situations where our ships land on uneven terrain and prevent us from getting onto the lift could get better with the procedural vaulting animations we were recently shown on a previous Calling All Devs. Getting kicked out of cruise while decoupled is being worked on since it's considered as a bug. Right now with dual sticks, you lose speed too easily by just moving your sticks a little. Atmospheric flight, now that the planet Hurston is coming soon, will feel a lot like the current implementations for moons, which is mainly drag. But changes will come in the future when IFCS gets to a more finished state. It looks like quantum trails will be part of the game tracking and sensor system. So, ways to detect and evade this kind of gameplay systems will be available in the future. This must really resonate with those looking forward to do quantum interdiction as a pirate or any other type of boarding party. Or maybe if you are into bounty hunting. Or just even tracking because of an ongoing investigation, spying task, etc. Jared points towards the possibility of this having an effect on a surprise announcement soon. Maybe some gameplay for the Ambilhawk? This week's Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy talks about the Baku system. This is a Banu system, and it is important to remember that first contact for humanity was with the Banu. 2 jump points, Tugedon and Garon. It's a binary system, so 2 stars at the center, 3 planets, and an asteroid field. Bacchus 1 is a super-Earth type of planet that is too close to the stars, so it's mainly uninhabitable. Bacchus 2 is in the green zone, and the UEE believes it could be the Banu homeworld, because this is a planet the Banu used to assemble their leaders and make big decisions through what they call gatherings. Bacchus 3 is a massive gas giant in the outskirts of the system. There is also the Bacchus Flotilla, which is a massive marketplace present in most Banu systems. This week gives us the question and answer article for the RSI Apollo. And from this article, I'll highlight some elements that I think are really interesting. Medical gameplay will require a level of constant control just as mining already does, so no click and forget. NPCs will be viable targets for medical treatment, but it is still a concept under development. The Apollo will equip a large-sized scanner. Medical services will be prepaid somehow to prevent abuse. Ships with dedicated medical base will most certainly have high tier beds. I'm guessing level 1 or at least level 2. Requests for medical assistance will be done via beacons, and apparently the respawn mechanic will be available for tier 1 beds. Response will be tied to timeouts, ship resources, and consequences. TTK, or time to kill, will be increased in the future to accommodate to the various health or damage states planned for the characters. Characters in beds will get some mitigation from G-forces exerted onto the ship. Only players on your party will respawn automatically on ships with medical beds. For other players, it will be tied to missions and or beacons. Medical supplies will occupy space in the cargo hold, but we'll have to plan accordingly. Finally, this week's Around the Verse is called Happy Race Ya Filthy Rover. Based on the 8 Eclipse bridge made by French streamer Hugo, CIG launched a dare to create bridges with even more ships than that. The Daymar Rally was highlighted for their efforts on figuring out logistics for the upcoming scramble races. Group systems will soon introduce a 3-panel system for contacts, groups, rights to replace the current outdated one. Voice over IP and face over IP will be an integral part of that. Cheap rentals are coming soon. They are aware of the trouble players are having with pips in turrets as well as their general movement. Hopefully we'll get those updates for 3.3. The Lorville previews look amazing, especially the new biomes and huge buildings. New images for the 300 series as well as a nice Constellation Phoenix hot-top sneak peek were shown to us. Don't miss the Hammerhead damage state preview. It's looking good. Thank you for tuning in, and see you soon.
Come with me.